So I'm not playing any music today because the last time I tried to play some music, we know what happened. Instagram kicked me out. So today is a very special.
It's a very special live that we're doing, and it's all about all things Valentine's Day. So I do know that Valentine's Day is around the corner. I'm just going to invite my guest to join. Oh, I think there she is. Accept. And so this is special. This is for everybody who maybe you have zero plans for Valentine's Day, or maybe you have plans, or you plan to date yourself. That's okay too. But today we're going to be talking about, okay, I'm not quite sure why she can't join. Sylvia, if you're trying to join from anything other than your phone, it will not work. So you need to be on your phone for this. You can't join from a laptop. Tried that in the past with other people, did not work. So today we're talking about all things Valentine's Day. So let me know in the comments if you do have plans for Valentine's Day, meaning that you have a date with somebody else, or you don't even celebrate Valentine's Day, or you plan to date yourself, or you're going out with friends. Some people do that as well. They spend Valentine's Day with a loved one, not necessarily a romantic partner. And so let me know before we dive into today's session. We're going to be talking about online dating versus offline dating, the war between the two, the good, the bad, and the freaking ugly. So let me know where you're joining from. Let me know what your plans are for Valentine's Day. And we will take it from there. I'm just trying to get my guest to join. Oh, there she is. Welcome.
Hi, Joan.
Hi. Welcome back.
You look lovely in red.
Gotta dress up for Valentine's Day, you know.
Yes, good for you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fabulous. I really
What's up?
am.
You look it after coming back from Panama. Yeah,
Yeah.
you look amazing.
Coming back to the cold wasn't fun, but definitely, you know,
Yes, a
we
lot of
got to
snow
get
this
used to
weekend
it.
here.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And more to come.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today. We're talking about all things Valentine's Day, and we're going to be diving into the kind of the difference and pros and cons between online dating and offline dating, because right now people are just damn frustrated, and maybe you can share some tips. We can have some conversations around what maybe are the best ways in 2025 to be able to meet potential partners,
Mhm.
because that's your expertise and my expertise too. So it's going to be a fun session. So before you joined, I was just saying that, for everybody, like Valentine's Day for me, it's to be celebrated. Whether you're single, partner, dating yourself, going out with friends, it really doesn't matter. For me, it's just a day of love, and just share love with whoever you want to share love with. What are your thoughts around Valentine's Day?
Well, Valentine's Day obviously is a special day. And even though being single for so many years, what we have done in my circle of girls is we've had Galentine's Day where we have
Good.
come together, all my gal pals, and just celebrated by, having a fun party where we're drinking and having amazing food and dancing. We just love to just get together and have some good times. And it's about just sharing the love, period.
Hmm. Exactly. And I think that's such a great idea because it takes the pressure off. Because what happens with a lot of single people, they stay home and then they just sit in front of Netflix and they feel sorry for themselves and not really going out and celebrating the day, whether or not you're a single or partner. It doesn't matter. Like, it's a day of love, and just sharing it with loved one really does make a world of difference.
That's right.
Okay. So I know you did mention that you've been single for a minute now. So what has been your experience? There's pros to online dating, right? So in your opinion and your experience with online dating, what would you say are maybe some of the pros for people who are dabbling into it, or people who have some experience?
Mhm. So I've done a lot of online dating
Hmm.
over the years, and so I could speak from experience. You know what? I haven't had a real bad experience per se.
Hmm.
So the pros are that you get to meet new people.
Good.
And if you go with that approach and, you're going to make a new friend, and not look at it as your lifetime partner. You go, you have a coffee with someone or a drink or dinner, whatever you decide on. You go, you meet, you get to know someone new, their
Mhm.
likes or dislikes. And if there's a connection, both physical, spiritual, whatever it is that you're looking for, then you have the opportunity to connect and continue, right? Um, so it's a new way to just step out of your comfort zone, as opposed to, like you said, just sitting on the couch watching Netflix another Friday night or Saturday night. It's
Mhm.
just stepping out of your comfort zone, meeting new people. And who knows? There's so many people who have met online and who have married and are doing amazing. So there's definitely a lot of pros.
Mhm.
So, but on the other flip side, we can talk
We'll
about
get to that in a second. But I
that.
really want to hold on to something that
Yeah.
you said. The truth is, a lot of people who maybe never even used it or just dabbled into it a little bit or have these very high expectations, they was like, oh, it doesn't work. There's nobody there. Everybody's just looking for a hookup. People don't want to commit. But again, it's the energy that they're approaching it with. And you just said, I haven't had a bad experience on the dating, online dating. And I know a lot of people who've had very, very successful meetings with people. And again, like you said, you could meet a new friend. You could just have a fun coffee date. There's nothing wrong with that. Or it might lead to something else. But it's this whole over expectation where people are already so anxious and you're like, oh, where is he? This, and you're already going in with that negative mindset that, oh, I'm sure this is all fun and games, like no one here is really serious. So
Mhm.
if that's the mindset, then you're not going to meet anyone. So I do want to encourage people who've never tried it or sitting on the fence or just tried it a little bit and not really used it for what it's for. Try it because it does work. There's a reason why it's there. You can, like you said, you can meet a lot of people pretty quickly. Like you can just filter as quickly as you want. So it's still a good way to meet people in
It's
2025.
perfect for busy people too, right? Who don't have the time to go out and venture out, or they don't like to go to bars or clubs or restaurants, whatever it is. It's a great way. I call it the interviewing process. You filter down to who, has he married? Has he been married? Does he have children?
Mm-hmm.
What does he do for a living? Is faith part of his life? Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it really, a lot of these sites are very detailed into and I'm talking about the paid sites that
Mm-hmm.
are very detailed with what the description are. And I always like, multiple pictures, not with sunglasses on and not with your shirt off or holding a fish
Yeah.
or a gun
What's with
or
the
like,
fish? Like the fish one, I don't know.
I don't get the fish
I
thing either, Joan.
don't get
It's
it.
just ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Or the selfie in the bathroom mirror. Most of them are in their cars. So it's like it's fun to see how everyone represents themselves.
Yeah.
But I like a good description.
Yeah.
I like someone who tells me what they like and what they're looking for
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
And someone who's interested in having fun, because that's what it's all about, right? You want to add some joy in your life. It's not,
Mhm.
and someone who's going to complement your life, not complicate it, right?
Yeah, exactly. But like I love all those tips that you gave. And so if you're a man or woman, both ways, you need to have great pictures. There's a reason why, even though we're saying don't be, it's not all about the superficial aesthetic looks only, but a good picture presents you in a good way. So have great pictures,
Yeah.
right? Start off with that and have a good bio, write a little bit about yourself so that it's easier for people to just say that's for me or that's not for me, and then you can move on. And that's what you get by online dating, as opposed to if you met someone in a bar, like you're just meeting them, they're there, and now you have to kind of figure out, do we even have things in common or not? So online dating for me is still my numero uno.
Okay.
It does have its challenges, and we're going to get into that in a second. But please do not be afraid to try it. You can try the paid, you can try the free ones. Just give it a try, and don't be too quick to just judge it and say it doesn't work, because it does work. So now let's go to the cons.
Well,
And if you're here and you've tried it, please let us know what your experience has been with the online dating apps. Yeah.
when it comes to the cons about online dating, of course, the first one is the person who they are presenting to be, the catfishing,
Yeah.
right? Are they who they're really representing themselves
Mm-hmm.
as? If they're model looking and the pictures are perfect, 9 out of 10 times they aren't who they say they are. Unfortunately,
Other
um,
pictures are from 20 years ago.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. That they're showing their younger self, which is lovely, but let's see, today what the look is. The other thing is when the spelling is off or they're not articulating themselves properly with punctuation and grammar, etc. That's a real turn off for me too.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the other cons are, the contacts. Hey,
What are you doing?
dot,
What you up
dot,
to?
dot, dot. Hey, it's like that's all you get.
That's all you got. Yeah.
Okay, and how do you respond to that? Hey back.
Yeah.
So it's about the communication part of it too. And I understand it's hard for guys to like I'm kind of a little bit on the traditional side. Like if I like someone, I
Mm-hmm.
don't mind me reaching out to them. But
Mm-hmm.
I'll like them and I'll wink at them or whatever the case may be,
Mm-hmm.
and hope that they respond, not appearing to be too forward. But this day and age, women can definitely reach out and make the first move.
Mm-hmm.
So when they're just saying, "Hey," I guess that's them reaching out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and so with that one, like I think during the pandemic, people were really like writing like long messages, and then there'll be no response, or you write that message and someone just unmatches you right away. So I think again, like you said, it's not so easy for guys because I do talk to guys as well, and they're like, I don't want to invest so much, and then she just unmatches or she just ignores me. So they kind of test the waters to see if you're a real human first of all,
Right.
and not just a bot. So it's like a hey or just something short, and then when you respond, then the interaction can happen. But again, there are some people where even when you respond, then they don't say anything for 2 days, and then they're waiting for you, and even even when you send a message, it's just like single word answers. So that's not really like, it doesn't give us anything to work with as women. So for the men, right, we know it's not always so easy to put yourself out there and just hoping that someone's going to respond to you, but it shows that you're interested, and then the woman can respond. And then just again back to what you were saying, when you're creating your profile, like all those typos, or just it just shows that the inattention to detail is really a turn off for a lot of women, especially for women our age. um, we don't have time to be thinking, okay, maybe he was tired when he wrote this or whatever. Just put some effort into creating your bio, and you will get better responses. And do try to be a bit more proactive in your interaction so that the conversation can start to flow. But
Mhm.
yeah, but just to add to some of the cons, so we have the catfishing, we have the ghosting, we have the people who are married who lie and say that they're single on the dating apps. We have people who are looking for a woman to leech on. I'm just going to be honest and just say that. There are people who are homeless and looking for somewhere to move into. Like, there's all manner of crazy people on the dating apps. So for women, you have to, and it's both ways as
Yes.
well. There are women out there who also want to take advantage of men. So you just have to be a little bit careful, make sure that you're having some good conversations and you're asking the right questions, and you're making sure that you have at least a phone call before you meet in person, and you're meeting in a safe space. And don't be in a hurry. I think what gets a lot of women is when they're in a hurry for it to progress into a relationship, and then you miss all the red flags, and before you know it is like Bob's your uncle, like this psycho has just ruined my life. So just slow things down a little bit. I know during the pandemic, like we're all crazy and everybody just things were happening really quickly, but I think now just pace yourself and try to get to know the person before you want to take the relationship to the next level.
Right, exactly. The other thing is that one of the things I try and do after having a couple of texts back and forth, I'm not a big texter back and forth, is to do a live. Do, oh, a live with them
Yeah.
so that you're seeing, first of all, you're verifying that they are who they are.
Yeah.
And secondly, sometimes I have to admit, I did a live with a gentleman. The picture, he was just gorgeous. Like he was handsome
Mm-hmm.
and very rugged and rough looking. And then when I started talking to him, he had a voice like this. And it was just really irritating
Oh.
because I couldn't handle it. And it was like, okay, I don't know if I can handle this. So there's different things for different people that are
Yeah,
turn on and turn off.
absolutely.
So it was just, You have to really have a live to see if there's a connection. You can tell usually
Yeah,
by just,
you can. Yeah,
interacting with someone live.
yeah,
So that would be my next step after texting and reading their profile,
yeah.
getting to know them and seeing them. But and sometimes they don't pick up the phone. If they're not picking up the live phone, you got to ask what's going on,
What are
why.
they hiding? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. So, what would you say has been your worst experience online dating?
I guess my worst experience is being stood up. I guess, like just like you're saying you're meeting at such and such a day and such and such a time, and you're taking that's what we have to do our hair, our makeup, get dressed. What
Exactly.
outfit do I pick? What impression do I want to make?
Yeah.
You're getting in your car, you're excited, all the feels are happening, and then you get there and they don't show up.
Wow.
So that I think is one of the worst experiences I've had. So.
Yeah. I think being ghosted is probably the most painful.
Mhm.
And so, like, even when I work with my clients, that's what I start preparing them for, especially for people who haven't done online dating. Just prepare yourself to be ghosted because you will probably be ghosted at some point.
Yeah,
But I feel like it's such a cowardly way to say you're not interested.
that's right.
Like, if you're not interested, just say you're
That's
not interested.
say
Like, we're
exactly.
grown ups. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell? You like
Change my mind, sorry, we're not a match,
exactly.
you move
Yeah,
on. It's nothing personal, like,
nothing
because I
personal.
truly, I don't take anything personally because I don't want someone who's not interested in me, obviously, right? So you want someone who's going to be connected, is going to be interested. And so that's where, just tell the person what's the big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I had this conversation with my group coaching on Saturday, and I was asking them if you were on a date and you weren't, and you found out that you're not interested in the guy, what would you do?
Mm.
And two people actually said they'll say nothing and just go and block the person and ghost the person. I'm like, but this is exactly what men do to women, and then we're like, oh, he's so mean.
Yeah.
But again, I think there's just something inside of us that we feel by just blocking or avoiding the person, it's letting the person down lightly. But I don't think so. For me, I'd rather you just be honest. Just say, this was a great date.
Yes.
However,
Great
I'm
person.
not
I
feeling
really enjoyed
it.
our time. There's no
Yeah, it's
connection.
not for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no connection. Yeah,
We
exactly.
are grown up. So please stop ghosting. Male or female, do not ghost anyone. If you're no longer interested, just let the person know and wish them all the best and send them on their
Yeah.
merry way.
Actually, I was at a singles group one time, and the men were asked when a woman offers to pay for their meal, they take it as a sign that they don't like them, so that the female doesn't like them. And so I thought, interesting, because I often
Interesting.
offer to pay my part at least as a test to see if
See,
they'll accept it.
yeah.
And if they do, they take that. Oh, she doesn't like me. That's why she wants to pay for her own meal. And I thought,
Uh-huh.
okay, interesting. So I use it as if they say, no, no, of course I've got it. They're, true gentlemen. And
Exactly.
if they say, yeah, sure, pay for it, I often think he's not interested in me. So it goes both ways, right?
And it's so interesting because women and men, we think and see things very differently,
Mhm.
right? Like what you just described is how I would interpret it, right? I rarely ever offer to pay, but I've had a guy say to me, we're splitting that bill. And for me, it just shows me you're not my person. There's women who want to pay for men and split bills and whatever. Great, that's for you. That's not for me.
Right.
Um, but yeah, for a man to say if she offers to pay, it's not interested. That's not how we went. That's not how we're wired. We're just trying. It's just this whole nurturing side of us where we're like, we don't want you to take on all the burden of paying for the bill. We're happy to split the bill. So yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
So,
Very
so
interesting.
who should pay for the first bill? Is it the person who asks or always the man? What do you think?
I'm a bit traditional, so I will say always the
Same here.
man, always.
And
Yeah,
I've taught my sons that too. So
yeah.
I mean, yeah, definitely the man has to
Yeah,
pay.
yeah, 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 for me. Yeah, it keeps us in our feminine. Okay, so we did have the pandemic era, which is what I like to call it, where everyone was crazy online dating, just went from God, yeah, skyrocketed, and everybody was just in there and swiping left and right. And now we have a situation where people are exhausted, people are frustrated, people are drained, people are tired. People just want a different option, right? And I think in the last year or so, offline dating has brought back the magic. So we're seeing more and more offline dating events happening. And so I want to ask you, so for you, what will be your preference, online or offline, and why?
Absolutely offline. Yeah, of course. There's no better way than to meet someone through a friend who knows
Mm-hmm.
them, and that can vouch for them and has some history, right? That's the best way to sort of ideally meet someone. I mean, we always say, oh, I'm going to meet him in the grocery store or walking down the street, walking my dog or whatever. You know what? If you don't go out to the grocery store, if you don't go out much, you're not going to meet them. So, I mean, that's what online has become. But the best way, and I've said to my friends, I will give you $1 million if you introduce me to the man of my dreams, right? No one's taking me up on it. I don't know why. But referrals is always the best way to go, right? It's just a matter of, a lot of people have a preconceived perception of you and say, well, no, you won't like them, or they're not good enough for you. And it's just like, let me be the judge of that.
Yeah.
Let's try and, give it a chance, right?
Yeah.
But definitely.
I think with referrals, like I'm on the fence for referrals because how our friends and family see us is not really how we are, especially with relationships.
So true.
And so what I've seen in the past is people would refer people, introduce people, and now the people being introduced feel like they have to take them up on it. It's like, oh, this person has introduced me to this person. Now I have to be interested. And maybe you're not a match. So people are more like, well, I can't say no. If I say no, then it looks like I have a problem. I'm too picky, or I'm this, or I'm that. And then next time they're going to say, well, I'm not introducing you to anybody because the last time I did, you were not interested. So I think for me, it's a double-edged sword. I don't think my friends know the kind of partner I'm going to be interested in. And I'm just going to be honest, because they know me from a different lens.
That's true.
Or they know, or they think that I want their own type of partner. No, the type of men you're interested in, it's a no thanks for me. so, so it's always for me like, okay, don't, like I say that as well to my friends, introduce me, but I really don't want them to introduce me because every time they introduce me, I'm just like, no thanks, it's a pass. So they're like, you're too picky. Yeah, I'm too picky. Like, I'm 45 years old. Of course I'm too picky.
Well, it's not being picky. It's knowing that you know what
It's
you
not
want.
what you want.
And more
Exactly.
importantly, what you don't want.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. A lot of people know what they don't want, but they don't know what they want.
It's so true. Yeah. And they wouldn't know it if they saw it looking at them straight in the face, right? So, and that's a very good point. And that's where our coaching comes into play, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So tell me a bit more. So now offline dating, there's different types of offline dating out there. I've tried speed dating. It was interesting. I've tried singles events. I've tried all kinds of events. What has been your experience with those sort of matchmaking type events? Before we get into what it is that you're organizing.
So I went to one speed dating event years ago. It was interesting. You get your, 2 minutes
3
with
minutes,
that
yeah.
individual, 2 or 3 minutes, whatever it is that with that person. And, if there's a connection, great. It's nice, but you can only say so much. And so you're basing it just on that short amount of time. Didn't connect with anyone at the time. I mean, I've been to some mix and mingle, some networking stuff. Again, a lot of people are afraid to step out of their comfort zone. There's so many issues involved in that because if you have two girlfriends sitting at a table and a man wants to approach, they're afraid because are the women available? Are they a couple? Are the girls a couple? So you feel like, you might be intruding on that aspect of things. And so it makes it a lot more difficult and vice versa for women and men. You see two guys together, are they just buddies? Are they a couple? So you feel kind of uncomfortable, possibly introducing yourself. So there's that aspect part of it also, in being live in person when you're meeting people. But if you don't try or you don't shoot, you'll never score, right?
Exactly. Yep, absolutely. And I want to touch on what you said about because there's many options to meeting people offline. And for a lot of women, it's a bit awkward to just go sit at a bar by yourself. Some women are able I don't know how they do it, but I could never.
I could never. Yeah, I'm with you.
So what typically happens is you have a bunch of women who go out together, and for a lot of men, they don't want to approach. Like they're scared to approach. So even if
Mhm.
they know that these women might be single, they're still afraid to approach, especially if it's like three, four, five women, right? And so that's not a good strategy if you're trying to meet people offline. So you can try it. If you can go out by yourself, that would be probably the best way. But again, it's very awkward, it's very uncomfortable. It just looks like you're selling something.
Mhm.
It just doesn't really float well. And then going out in a group of pack of friends doesn't really work as
Mhm.
well to be able to attract the kind of man that it is that you're looking for. And so maybe that, and then speed dating, there isn't enough time because you have 2 to 3 minutes. Everybody's still pretending, like before you can even break the ice, it's all over. And everyone's trying to like, oh, does he like me? Does she like me? You're kind of trying to guess quickly and you forget people. So speed dating as well, a little bit too fast. And again, not just enough time to make that good connection. And so what it is that you're offering is something completely different, at least in Toronto. It's something completely different that hopefully kind of answers or solves some of those other issues around offline dating. So maybe you can tell us a little bit more about
Yes,
it.
I am so excited about this. While scrolling on Instagram, I discovered this new thing called Pitch a Friend. And it started in 2022 by a beautiful lady called Melissa in Philadelphia. And so she worked at a brewery and was trying to get people back in to the live events, the coming back to the pubs, to
Mm-hmm.
the bars, to the breweries, etc., because people were having a hard time after COVID getting back and seeing people live. So she started this thing called Pitch a Friend, where it's a one of a kind event that celebrates friendship by allowing friends to give a short 3 to 5 minute presentation on their remarkable single friends to a lively and available crowd of singles at breweries and other locations. And it's a fun way to meet because you come with the intention to possibly make a connection with someone. Everyone knows what they're there for. It's not just it's for singles, but it's for their friends who are also maybe married or connected, to come and support their single friends. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why it's a celebration of friendship also. And so how it works is that you, as if you want to pitch a friend, you reserve a pitch at spot by filling out the online form, and then you pay a small fee to do so, and then you showcase your friend as an incredible catch by sharing and describing their best qualities. You share some few fun facts about them. You include also
Mm-hmm.
what they're looking for in a relationship, and it's done in a PowerPoint presentation that your friend then pitches to the audience. And we would like that the person is there live, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
to so that they can interact.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have some breaks where there's a mix and mingle in between. You have some great beers, some wine, whatever the case may be, some good food, and they can connect. And at the end of the slideshow, they can put their personal Instagram information so that anyone in the audience could just scan the barcode and connect with that person or connect live
Mm-hmm.
in the setting, which is what we really encourage, to go and connect live with that person. So it could be someone who's there, or you could be someone in the crowd saying, oh my gosh, this girl would be perfect for my son,
Mm-hmm.
or this girl would be perfect for my friend. And so it's just there's a ripple effect happening,
Yeah.
not just at the event, but after the event.
Yeah, I love it because again, one, you're not pitching yourself because let's be honest, a lot of the times we don't even see our greatest qualities. Like you're like, that's not a big deal, it's not a big deal. I'm just plain, I'm just simple. So your friend, hopefully they're a true friend.
Well, it's definitely not a roast. It's not a roast. It's definitely a
Please
positive.
not. Your friend will probably be able to showcase you in the best
Yeah.
light, right? And really be able to sell you because it's easier when someone else is selling you than you trying to sell yourself. So I think it's such a brilliant, never heard of it before till I met you. I think it's just such a beautiful, less pressured environment. So it's very
Yeah.
different from the speed dating. This is just a fun event where you're there with your friend for starters, so you're not alone. But again, everybody is there with the right same intention and you get to see multiple people, and if you're interested, you can mingle, interact, and just show your interest, and who knows, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, the thing is, it's great because most people bring all of their friends to support them, so they are supported by a
oh,
group.
nice.
Yeah, so it's great to bring your friends to support in the presentation. I
Uh-huh.
mean, this has been going since 2022, but it's now in over 40 cities worldwide. So when I saw that Toronto was still available, I snapped, I really snapped it up because I thought this is a great
It's
concept.
such a
Love the
good,
idea,
yeah,
and it's it's now it was just in the US. Now it's in Canada, yeah, Europe, and Australia, which are the cities that are all very new. So it's
yeah.
growing like gangbusters, and it's a great idea. And the nice thing about it, Joan, is that it's free to attend. So
Mm,
it's usually happening during the week at these venues to help bring more traffic, to help the venues,
mm,
build kind of a following. So it's like almost like trivia meets speed dating meets mix and mingles for
mm-hmm.
singles. And
Yeah.
so that's what it includes.
That's amazing. I think that that's what people should. So even if you're not pitching your friend, or even if your friend is not being pitched, you can still attend for free. And
Absolutely.
just like you were saying, you can be in the audience and you're just watching a pitch going on, and you're like, okay, maybe I'm interested in that person, and you can scan their IG and just follow them and see where things
That's right.
go. So I think this is such a brilliant idea for people who are tired of the scrolling left and right and
Yeah.
the whole games that happen on the dating apps, or you're nervous to go to a speed dating event. This is a more relaxed, fun,
Yeah.
right, way to be able to meet people and to showcase your friend and to support your single friends, and for you to also meet potential partners. So if you're in the GTA, because you're going to talk about where it's happening. If you're in the GTA this Thursday, I want to see you there.
Yes.
Like, if you're single, don't be DMing me saying, Joan, I'm single, find me this. Show up.
Show up.
I'm going
Yeah.
to be there. I want to see you there.
That's
I
right.
think it's such a brilliant, amazing idea. So tell us about the first event.
The first event is this Thursday, February the 13th, just in time for Valentine's Day.
Exactly.
You just may find the love of your life out in left field at Left
Exactly.
Field Brewery in Liberty Village. And it
Yeah.
starts at 7 o'clock, and then we have I had such an overwhelming response as the first event. We have 11 pitches confirmed, and we have like 15 on a waiting list for the next event. So it's been phenomenal. There's another one in Markham next Wednesday, February the 19th at Rouge River Brewery. And we just got a third one booked for Monday, March the 10th at Black Lab Brewery in Toronto in Leslieville.
Oh, wow.
And there's more to come. We're just working on a
More
few.
to
Yeah.
come, more to come. So that's awesome. So if you're in the GTA over the next 3 weeks, I don't want to hear I'm single. Go to one of these events. Like, I don't want to hear it. Just go. So in terms of who are the ideal people, who should show up? Because I know that for some people, they might be thinking, maybe the crowd is going to be too young. It's going to be too, it's going to be this, it's going to be this. Who can we expect to be
You
there?
know what? We say it's anyone from 21 and up,
Okay.
all like, female, male, heterosexuals, bisexuals, whatever it is, because when you pitch, it's identified as, who you're looking for. If you're looking for
Okay.
male, whatever.
Hmm.
So it depends. Now, to start, because we're new to the city, we're just allowing it to be open to everyone.
Hmm.
And then eventually I will do some that are, age specific, millennial,
Hmm.
later daters,
Hmm.
LGBTQ. So it depends. I'm based on the response and what's going to be happening. But just come out because, like I said, if you're there and if the crowd is younger, then it could be someone, your niece. Oh, this guy's a great
Exactly.
catch for my niece,
Yeah.
or whatever. Or someone in the audience, if it's someone who's older, say, oh, that man would be perfect for my aunt. So
Hmm.
it's like there's definitely a ripple effect happening when people are there, and that's what we've learned from the stats that are happening with
Hmm.
all the other cities that have been doing it for a while.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, super, super exciting. And really, I do want to kudos to you for doing this, because I think that it's very timely. I think people want a different way to meet people, right? The online thing, yeah, it's still good. It still has its pros, but to be in person and to be able to have a good time and to be there with your friends supporting you, I think that is amazing. I think that just it's just an easier, better way. You get to meet the person in person. We get to
Yeah,
see them. You're not guessing, is this a 20-year-old picture? Are they crazy? Are they looking for somewhere to live and reaching out to me? These people are there with the right intention. And worst case, you will have a good time. So
that's
just like
right.
what we're saying,
And that's what
you
it's
will
all
have a
about.
good time.
Having some fun and just
Have some
supporting your
fun.
friends, supporting your friends.
Exactly.
That's what it's all about. Yeah.
And
And so if anyone's interested in more information, you could always go to picturefriendtoronto.com. So if you want to learn more about it, there you
mhm.
can find us online or on Instagram at
Yeah.
Picture Friend Show. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been sharing the events as well. So if you're following me, you'll see that I've been posting the events as well. And I'm going to be there for sure. I'm going to be there in
Yay!
Liberty Village. I'm going to be there at the Markham one,
Yeah.
right? Because I believe in this, and I just know that the struggle is
Yeah.
real. And this is such a good way for people to be able to connect and meet other people as well.
Yeah.
So, final words of encouragement for people who Valentine's Day is coming up. They're like, oh my God, another year by myself. What would you want to leave them with? What
Well,
message?
you could continue to live your life by default and let things happening to you, or you can make things happen. And one step is taking that step out of your comfort zone and do something new and different to make a change in your life. Come to a picture friend. Come with your friends. Have a good time. Have a great drink. Eat some great food and have some fun.
I love it. I love it. And I hope that everyone listening and watching will take action today and do something different for this Valentine's Day. Thank you so much, Sylvia,
Thank
for being here.
you,
This is super,
Joan.
super
Thank you so much. I
amazing.
appreciate your time and thank
Yeah.
you for showcasing Picture Friend.
Yeah. And I look forward to seeing you on Thursday.
Likewise. Take care.
Okay.
Happy
Uh,
Valentine's Day,
Happy
everyone.
Valentine's Day. All right. Bye.
Bye.